You know, a lot of people talk about hip hop and rap as if it's the same thing. And this is the beginning of a real hip hop education. There are universities that are teaching hip hop all over the country, really all over the world. Hip hop is being taught, hip hop courses, classes. You guys got one here. One of the things that makes your course authentic is when you leap off of the book and into real life. I have to commend you all and Temple University and all of the organizers, everyone who was involved in bringing me here on such short notice, because this is what a hip hop course is really all about. And I'm going to explain this to you very quickly. Those that are taking notes, if I say something and you want me to repeat it, just shout that out. Say repeat it, I'll say it again. I'm going to run through dates, addresses, times, names of people, and how this movement came to be what you are seeing. I'm going to give you 34 years of history in about 20 minutes. Let's get started. 1970, the Vietnam War is going on. The civil rights movement is at its peak. A gentleman by the name of J. Edgar Hoover is head of the FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, sometime in the 60s, 65 down. Also, as a side note, 1967, George Bush was head of the CIA. Side note. In these late 60s, the FBI issued something called a counterintelligence program. The counterintelligence program was supposed to be the FBI's way of checking up on and breaking apart social organizations, women's groups, civil rights movement, what they believed the communists were, workers' rights movement, unions, this kind of thing. J. Edgar Hoover was out to destroy that. When he got to the black community, documented evidence, FBI records show and state that he was looking for, I'll quote, a black messiah. The FBI, with all their millions and all their technology, said that when it comes to the black community, what we are looking for is a black messiah. Those are the words, quote. They looked at Malcolm X, they looked at Martin Luther King, Kwame Ture, or then Stokely Carmichael. They're looking at all of these people rising up and they just start making plans to get rid of them. Not so much because these people were a threat to the United States, but because what they stood for inspired you. This is the real argument. The fake argument is Martin Luther King was killed because he was black. You know, they shot Malcolm because he was black. No. These things were calculated attempts, and even now, and I would say this now it's out that the government, as you do more and more history and more research comes up, you come to find out that the United States government is blamed for a lot of stuff they themselves did not do. That when you reach a level of power in this country, you can do stuff and blame it on the United States, blame it on the Justice Department, blame it on the Board of Education, when in fact, there are groups of people with interests contrary to yours. It's just that simple. Some are black, some are white, some are mixed, some are, and when I say mixed, I mean some groups acquire an Asian African connection. It ain't got nothing to do with whether I'm African or whether you're Asian. I'm trading rice with you. I'm trading peanuts, corn, and other agricultural goods with you. I'm depending on you, you're depending on me, but we are manipulating the society for our good. This is a new paradigm in the civil rights struggle. Hip hop starts off in the Vietnam War, counterintelligence program, and trying to get rid of our mothers and fathers. We're born in that. This is where we start. Right here, we're born in that. Our whole generation was labeled X. Generation X. The whole generation is X because we were doomed. 1970, heroin is on the streets everywhere. There's a scene in the Mario Van Peebles movie Black Panther where they actually show this documented fact that happened, actually acted out. It was a scene where the mafia and the FBI gets together to discuss how they're going to put heroin in the black community. You should rent Black Panther, continue your hip hop studies. But anyway, this is real. The government working on behalf of other organizations, or working with other organizations, not about working with other organizations, launched a program to stop a certain intelligence happening, a certain happening already going on in the American societies. The problem was their own shortcomings of racism and sexism. Sexism hit them first. The plan was to get rid of all the men, assuming that women had no power and that without a man they would crumble. Hip hop has defied that law. We don't even discuss it no more. It's an old argument. If you're a single parent, now it don't mean nothing. Now, it's actually better to be a single parent. There are more resources in society for the single parent today than there are for the family. Back in the 50s and 60s, to be a single parent was a scourge. You was looked down upon. Well, you had sex out of marriage or wedlock. Where's your man? Where's your wife? Or where's your companion? People looked at you and judged you based on this. After the Vietnam War, the heroin epidemic, counterintelligence program, most of the men are wiped out of the society. We, early hip hop, are born. I was born 65. I was part of that clique that grew up when we was in 1972. I'm in the Bronx at this place called 1520 Sedgwick Avenue. This is the birthplace of hip hop. 1520 Sedgwick Avenue. A guy named Cool DJ Herb used to play in 1500 Sedgwick Avenue in the Bronx. It was a park next to that building. And actually, we really lived in 1600, but everybody from 1600 and 1520 played, stayed over everybody's house, this, that, and the other. There was a great relationship between these two projects. And there was a park in the middle of that called Cedar Park. 1972, heroin is all up in this park. Fiends are nodding. The hot record was James Brown. Get on the good foot. I'm 7 years old. Me and Siobhan Dean, who's now Rough Riders and all of them, we all used to live in the same building in 72. Had no idea who anybody was or what we would become. It was just that Kool Herc used to come outside and play music. Now, here's where it all begins. Heroin is everywhere. 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 Heroin is everywhere. Everywhere. It's not even like crack. Crack was controlled compared to heroin. Heroin was everywhere.